We are constantly bombarded with myths and so-called miracle products when it comes to hair growth. But what does the actual science say? Well, today we're going to cut right through all that noise. Our AI analyst has sifted through thousands of scientific studies to give you a clear, data-driven map of what truly matters for healthy hair. It is such a frustrating cycle, isn't it? You buy the right products, you follow all the advice you see online, but your hair just stops. It hits a plateau, and you're left wondering, what on earth am I missing here? Well, our analysis shows the answer isn't in another bottle. It's actually hidden in the data. By connecting the dots and finding patterns across thousands of peer-reviewed studies, our AI has built a clear picture of hair health. So let's dive into what it found. So here's our game plan. First, we'll quickly cover what normal hair growth even looks like. Then we'll get into the 5 root causes our AI identified. After that, we'll explore some data-backed solutions, bust a few common myths, and finally, we'll wrap up with a simple AI-powered routine you can actually use.
Okay, first things first. Before we can understand why things go wrong, we have to understand what right looks like. We need a baseline for healthy hair growth.
At the absolute core of everything is something called the hair growth cycle. Now, your hair doesn't just grow continuously. Think of it more like a relay race for each individual hair, with distinct phases of growing, resting, and then finally shedding. And that race has 3 key phases. First up is anagen. This is the active growth phase, and it can last for years. This is what determines how long your hair can actually get. Next is catagen, a really short transition that lasts a couple of weeks. And finally, you have telogen, the resting phase. The hair just hangs out for about 3 months before it sheds, making way for a new hair to start the cycle all over again.
So, this means that seeing some hair in your brush or in the shower is completely normal. Losing somewhere between 50 to 100 hairs a day is just the natural end of that telogen phase. The real problem isn't the shedding itself, it's when that cycle gets disrupted and way too many hairs enter the shedding phase at once.
So what disrupts this delicate cycle? This is where our AI analysis gets really powerful. By finding the common threads across thousands of different studies, it pinpointed 5 main categories of things that throw a wrench in the works. Okay, finding number 1, and probably the most foundational issue the AI flagged, is internal nutritional deficiencies. Think about it like this. Your hair is a house you're trying to build. If you don't have the right building materials, like iron, protein, and key vitamins, your body simply cannot construct strong, healthy hair.
Second, the AI found a huge cluster of data pointing to hormones. This includes the most common cause of hair loss, something called androgenic alopecia, which is basically a sensitivity to the hormone DHT that shrinks hair follicles over time. But the data also showed really clear disruptions from things like thyroid issues or major life events like pregnancy and menopause.
The third category? Stress and lifestyle. You know, a major shock to your system, either physical or emotional, can trigger a massive temporary shedding event. But what's really interesting is that the data shows that even that chronic, low-grade day-to-day stress and not getting enough sleep can slowly but surely disrupt the hair cycle over time.
The next insight from our AI is all about the foundation. I mean, you can't grow healthy plants in bad soil, right? It's the same idea with your scalp. Any kind of inflammation, whether it's from psoriasis or a fungal issue, creates a hostile environment that can literally choke off growth right at the source. And finally, the analysis confirmed what dermatologists see every day: direct physical damage. We're talking about constant pulling from tight hairstyles, follicle damage from high heat, and harsh chemical treatments. These are the external factors that, we actually have direct control over. Okay, so now that we've laid out the problems, what does the data say about the solutions? Our AI compiled the most effective, evidence-based strategies that tackle these root causes head-on. And what the data consistently points to is a holistic approach. These are not quick fixes, they're foundational lifestyle shifts. And notice how they directly mirror the root causes we just talked about. You support your internal system with good nutrition and stress management, and you protect the external system with gentle hair care. But, and this is absolutely crucial, we have to be responsible here. While these strategies are powerful, our data is crystal clear on one thing. If you are experiencing sudden, patchy, or just really distressing hair loss, the most important step you can take is to see a doctor. This analysis is for education, not a diagnosis. All right, next up, let's use this data-driven approach to tackle some of the biggest myths floating around out there. The AI scanned common claims and held them up against the actual scientific literature.
First up, hair oils. The myth is that a special oil can magically regrow lost hair. The AI analyzed fact: well, oils are fantastic conditioners. They can make your existing hair look and feel healthier and reduce breakage. But there is just no data showing they can reactivate a follicle that's gone dormant.
Next up, the idea that shampoo causes hair loss. And I get why people think this. You wash your hair, you see strands in the drain, you panic. But the data shows that hair was already in the shedding phase. Really, a clean, healthy scalp is absolutely vital for growth, and gentle shampooing is how you maintain it.
And finally, the myth that washing your hair every day is damaging. Again, the data just doesn't back this up. How often you should wash depends entirely on your scalp type. The real damage doesn't come from water, it comes from using harsh products and too much heat. Always prioritize a clean scalp. So let's put this all together. What does a practical, data-backed routine actually look like? Well, across all the successful long-term studies, our AI found one single variable that mattered more than anything else: consistency. This framework here breaks it down really simply. On a daily basis, it's all about two things: giving your body consistent fuel through a balanced diet and minimizing physical stress on your hair. Then, on a weekly basis, the focus is all about maintaining a clean, healthy scalp. And for the long term, it's about managing stress and, this is the hard part, being patient. Remember that 3-month resting phase? It means you probably won't see big changes for at least 3 to 6 months. Consistency is your best friend here. So if you're going to walk away with just a few core principles, let them be these. 1. Hair health is an inside job reflecting your nutrition, hormones, and stress. 2. A healthy scalp is the absolute non-negotiable foundation. 3. Consistency with good habits will always be jumping between magic products. And 4, making decisions based on data, not myths, is always more effective. And finally, please remember, this content is an AI-assisted educational analysis, and it is not a substitute for professional medical advice. For any personal health concerns, please consult a qualified healthcare professional. We hope this data-driven approach has given you a clearer path forward. Thanks for joining us.